Hello listeners, welcome to MHT Conversation. मेरा नाम राजिका है and today I will be the host for this conversation where we will be discussing a very exciting and a type of therapy that has got a lot of stereotypes attached to it. Today we will be talking about hypnotherapy from a therapist's perspective. So, in order to do this, we have with us a fellow clinical psychologist who is a hypnotherapist by profession. She is a graphologist, she's a life coach. She is also the founder of Parichai, a journey to meet yourself. So, सबसे पहले, I would like to introduce Ms. Keya Sampat for coming and talking to us, joining us on MHT Conversation. So, thank you so much, Keya, for coming and talking to us.
Thank you so much for having me here, Rajika.
I am personally very excited for this conversation because hypnotherapy is one area where there are so many myths and stereotypes and biases and I don't know what not that happens in the society. So, sabse pehle, before we begin and dive into hypnotherapy, would you like to tell us a little bit about your own therapeutic orientations, your backgrounds? How did you get interested in hypnotherapy?
Sure. So my academic background is a BA in psychology. And then I specialized in clinical hypnotherapy, graphology, and life coaching. And what got me interested, especially in hypnotherapy, was it was actually randomly by chance I came across this book by Brawn Batteries called Many Lives, Many Masters. And we are always fascinated by past lives and regression therapies and things like that. But that book gave me an actual field of study, like, oh, this can really happen and you can study this and use it as a therapy. So then that's where life took me.
Right. It sounds very fascinating. I've personally not read the book. So apart from hypnotherapy, are there any other areas of therapy or any other type modules of therapy that you're interested in, or is it just hypnotherapy?
So with hypnotherapy, I use graphology and life coaching also, that is positive psychology. But I've also found art therapy to be extremely effective. Right. And personally, I also want to get into writing therapy and yoga to have a holistic healing perspective.
Right. That would sound like a very complete package if in case you're able to actually get those credentials in place.
Yes.
So, I think let's just deep dive into hypnotherapy and you can tell us exactly what it is. What is hypnotherapy and how is it different from, let's say, all the unconventional therapy models that are there in our society?
Right. So hypnotherapy works on the subconscious mind. It works to break down those filters, go to the root cause of whatever challenges that you're experiencing. So we believe that everything that you're experiencing could be symptoms of a deeper cause. So even if you have symptoms of anxiety or depression or any other stresses in your life, we go to why and why, like we keep digging layers and layers of where exactly it's coming from. And we heal it at that cause. So that's how it's different from other modalities where they're mostly cognitive and more practical tools oriented. But this goes a little deeper to find out and resolve the root cause.
Okay. Wow. That sounds very fascinating.
It is.
So, even though I think that itself is a benefit. So are there any other benefits for using hypnotherapy or trying hypnotherapy?
So as I mentioned, it works on the root cause. So it becomes even more effective so that the same challenges don't present to you in a different way. So a lot of times what happens if we give clients tools to manage their anxiety or to overcome their negative thoughts, then that is managed really well. It's really effective. But some other challenges in their lives crop up or, the same issues, they come back a little later, a few years down the line. Maybe if there's a trigger in the change in their place of living or change in any other situations in their life, that with hypnotherapy, there are very, very less chances of that happening. Because it's completely gone from the root cause, right? So there's no way that it can present itself in any other form.
Right. So are there any specific mental health related issues that hypnotherapy would work best with, or is it like a type of module that can work with anything and everything?
Broadly, it can work with anything and everything. But if I have to give you a psychological diagnosis as such, so symptoms of anxiety are managed really well, healed really well with hypnotherapy. There's depression, fears, phobias, self-confidence, self-esteem challenges that people face. Those are mainly the common concerns that people come with for hypnotherapy.
Right. Okay. And what about any shortcomings? Are there any shortcomings for trying this module?
It's a little difficult to work with clients that come under the diagnosis of schizophrenia and autism, because there's a difference in the communication method. So that becomes a little challenging, but there are other ways through which we can navigate. That could be the only drawback or limitation as such.
Right. So yeah, that makes sense. Having if you have, let's say, a person with a little bit of a higher spectrum of disability, so having to communicate and give the therapy and however the process goes would be a little difficult. So yeah, that makes sense. So Keya, what has your experience been in using therapy with clients? Or if you could tell us a little bit of example, what happens, how it goes.
So from the client's perspective, they come with a lot of curiosity, yes, but also a lot of misconceptions or preconceived notions, like you mentioned in the start also, like there's so much stereotype attached to it. So I think the first, even pre-session case taking, the first session case taking, it goes into breaking down these myths and their beliefs about it. So I generally prefer the first session to be a demo of how hypnotherapy works and give them a short affirmation so that they get to understand it completely, see what their comfort level is like. And then from the second session onwards, we dive deep into the actual therapeutic processes.
Okay. So if we come to the myths, and just have like a understanding of the myths and stereotypes. So I think the biggest one would be the pendulum swinging, and like people lying down and the person making them do monkey dance and things like that. So what about these myths? Where do they come from? What is your understanding, being a hypnotherapist yourself? So how would you break these?
So the use of pendulum for hypnotherapy came from ancient practices where they used to use it as a stage performance, so to say. But it has zero therapeutic value. So therapists don't make you dance like a chicken or jump like a monkey. So pendulums, unfortunately, we don't use them in sessions, as fascinating as it sounds and as fun as it would be for us also. But that's not how hypnotherapy works. It's just verbal suggestions that we give to get the clients into that process and that state.
Right. So, are there any specific techniques that you can share with us or something, just to get an understanding of what hypnotherapy looks like to, let's say, people who are listening to this? Or is there any like this tool that is available that people can try who want to experience hypnotherapy?
So there is something called a root meditation, which is a grounding technique. I think it would be more effective if people find a space to not be disturbed and be in a quiet and comfortable environment when they practice it. So we can probably attach an audio separately that they can access if that's comfortable.
Definitely.
So I will record that process and send it to you.
Definitely. So all our listeners, there is an exciting audio below. Please do go check it. Try it. It is Ms. Keya actually making you a little bit experience how what hypnotherapy is. As she said, it's a root meditation, and root meditation is something that I have also done personally. So I personally feel it's very effective, and I can just feel all the stress and my anxiety from my body just seep away, and it just feels like that. And that's something we cannot really define when we are talking about it. That's something you have to experience. So all the people who are listening, please do go check out the audio down below, and let us know in the comments how you feel about it. Okay, Keya. So for to all the people who are listening to this and are mental health professionals who might want to get trained in hypnotherapy, so this is for them. So where did you take the training from, and are there any online courses that are available or something that maybe we can try and you could suggest?
So I did my training from ECA, which was formerly known as California Hypnosis Institute of India, but now they go by the term ECA, EKAA. And I would recommend them to be the best institute in our country to provide a proper licensing and certification to be able to practice it professionally. And so there are online courses. Even ECA has recently started because of the situation. They are taking online courses, but the practical modules of it are kept for a little later when the situation
Okay.
resumes and they can take hands-on training.
Okay.
So hands-on training is really important for this therapy, as much as you read or study about it, but the practical experience is what it is.
Right. I think that's exactly true because you can't practice hypnotherapy like therapies without actually experiencing it yourself and doing it in like
Absolutely.
proper settings before you actually try it
Mhm.
on people. So this is for all the people who are listening and want to become future hypnotherapists. Please take proper training. Okay, consult a proper institute that is available. Take proper training. Get certified, and only then practice it on others. So this is one module which I know has proper certification, which is very rare for others in our field because most of the therapies do
Right.
not have proper certification. So please do take care. Actually, visit proper institutes who might be able to give you
Mhm.
proper training.
I would
So
be happy to connect them with trainers in different cities and network them everywhere. Whoever's interested can get in touch.
definitely. So as Keya says, her profile is also linked below. Please do go check it out. If you want, you can get in touch with her personally in order to take sessions or even just consult her for in
Definitely.
different ways in where she can guide you in connecting with the right people who might be able to train. So, Kia, on that note, we're almost about at the end of the
Okay.
conversation. So,
Mhm.
if there was any one resource that you would like to share, with anybody who wants to know what hypnotherapy is, or how to practice it, or how it's going to be from a
Mhm.
client's perspective, which one would you share?
So, if somebody is completely new to this understanding of the conscious and the subconscious mind and want to understand the basics and fundamentals of it, then this book by Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, would be a
Okay.
really, really good start. Apart from that, if there are already trained therapists and you want to specialize in hypnotherapy, then I think Brian Weiss would be a very good start. All his books give a very in-depth and scientific perspective of how therapy works, where it comes from, and how we can use it as a healing modality.
Right. So all the books that Kia has mentioned, they are also listed below. Okay, links for the books are also, the Amazon links are also there in the link. Please do go, check these resources out. We're going to try as much as we can to make all the information available to you right below. So the institute where Kia took a training, their link is also down below. The books that she's mentioning is also down below. An audio which will help you actually see what hypnotherapy is and experience it for yourself. That is also in the link below. So please do go check it out. Let us know in the comments what you feel about it, how it is. And if you want, you are free to connect with Kia as well. Her details are there in the
Right.
description below. Please do go talk to her. So Kia, before we end,
Mhm.
before we get on with the conversation, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about Parichai because
Okay.
it's something that is very close to you. So if you would like to tell us a little bit about Parichai, what that is, how that happens.
Right. So I started Parachai with the understanding from my observations with the clients that I've worked with. Everything boils down to our disconnection with ourselves.
Right.
So anything and everything that you see as a challenge or an issue in your life is because you're not being true to who you are. Maybe you're coming under stress or coming under playing the blame game and things like that. So it eventually boils down to you coming back to yourself, meeting yourself, being your authentic self. So that was the whole idea behind Parachai. And I see success for therapy as healing from the past, being equipped for the present, and being inspired for the future. So that's how I also use hypnotherapy, graphology, and life coaching to give that holistic feel to my therapy.
Right. That sounds really nice. Yeah, and best of luck for all these endeavors that you are a
Thank
part
you
of.
so much.
Thank you so much for being a part of MHT and signing up
It's
as an
great to be
associate.
connected.
Definitely. So again, to all our listeners, please do go, check out Kia's profile, check out the audio that is there down below, check out the resources. If you have any comments about this conversation, about hypnotherapy, about MHT in general, please do let us know in the comments below, and we will be very happy to address them and connect the right person for them. So with that note, Keya, thank you so much for joining us today and talking to us all
Thank
about,
you so much. It was
hypnotherapy.
fun.
Definitely. And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in, and see you again next week.